so I found this chill, soulful R&B sample. And here's what I turned it into after I was done with it. So, it's been almost 2 months since I got Ableton Move, and it has become my favorite sampler, even though I'm not much of a standalone sampler guy. I prefer a more hybrid approach to production, where I would sample something and use it as the basis of a full-blown composition. Maybe that's why it has worked well for me, with its synths and instruments that complement the sampling functionality, and of course its small size and portability is the key here. I usually don't use Move with a big keyboard, and it doesn't even have sustained pedal support and pitch bend for me to compose from scratch properly. So I usually use it for sampling with my phone or iPad. Now, another portable sampler I have is the SP404 Mark II, and the reason I don't like to make music with it is not only the lack of synths and instrument, as I mentioned in my previous video, but also the convoluted workflow when it comes to sequencing. But this video is about Move. I may do a comparison video with the SP404 Mark II another time. So let me walk you through the process of making a beat, and as usual, we're gonna hear the final result after working it in live on the computer. To get most out of Move's 4 tracks, I use the same drum rack that contains my drums for my sample chops, and this means that I can only have a very limited number of chops, which has made my chopping a lot more intentional actually. Trying to find some cool bits in the sample to set my starting points to, instead of just lazily slicing it into quarter notes and potentially missing some cool parts that would inspire an interesting idea. Now, in previous videos I used the real-time lazy chop to slice samples while recording them, which is the method that Ableton recommend in their tutorial. However, I also complained about the fact that any changes like volume, pitch, filter have to be then done separately for each slice, which is a bit annoying to be honest. And I realized that it would be better to record the whole sample to a single pad, apply volume, pitch, filtering, whatever, and then copy the sample to another pad and change the starting point, so that every slice will have the same settings and I only need to do them once. But of course, sometimes I forget to do it, or I change my mind about how I want it to sound later on, and I still have to do it slice by slice. Overall, I would be really happy if Ableton implemented chopping on a single pad like we have on Machine, and then we use the 16 pitches modes to access the slices. That would make it much easier and solve the problems that I mentioned. When chopping samples on Move, I usually use the gate mode for playing the samples instead of the trigger mode. Now, for those who are unfamiliar with this, with gate, the sample plays as long as you hold the pad, while with trigger, it plays the whole thing all the way through, which can get quite messy considering that there's no time stretch. So if you sample a whole musical phrase, it may sound like a train wreck when playing over your drums, unless you try to beat match it, kind of, by pitching it up or down. So with the gate mode, I can just do some short stabs if I don't want to play the whole slice. For adding bass and other instruments, I definitely prefer a keyboard. It's just more comfortable to me than the pads on Move, so that's what I used for the bass and the other instruments. Then I was in a hurry to record the lead melody that I had in my head, so I did it with this quite plastic sounding lead. I think it's from Wavetable. I just had to record it before I forget it, but then I changed it to a different sound when I loaded the project in live. After the bass, I added some chords with this string instrument. So then I decided to scrap the lead and recorded another one. But then I changed it to a different sound when I loaded the project in live. And then in live I recorded these piano chords. A clavinet part. And changed the lead to a different one. Still, this is quite an epic sounding, kind of rave lead with some unison that you may not necessarily associate with sample-based boom bap, but I wanted something really energetic. Let me know if you feel it. I kinda dig it, to be honest. So let's hear the whole track. Oh, by the way, check out my packs from the link in the video description if you want to add some cool sounds and effects to your library. The complete heat bundle is still available where you can get all packs for half price. And I don't have a pack that works for Move yet, unfortunately, but I'm working on it. So that was all for the video, guys. Like it if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you are new here, check out this video up here for more videos with the Ableton Move, and I will catch you in the next one.